Awesome.
All right,
Got it.
Krishelle, it's great to
Hi.
see you.
Thank you.
So for just the audience, my name's Glenn Hanson. I'm the Managing Director of Vector Health and Performance in Rockhampton. And I've got with me Krishelle, who I've known for a very long time, who has designed something really cool that we're going to talk about with a group of her friends. I guess just to give a bit of background, I met Krishelle when she was 17. She was a somewhat unhealthy, somewhat angry person at that time, and her boss at the time actually paid for her to come and see me to try and motivate her to exercise and to help her maybe lose some weight, get a bit fitter, get a bit stronger. And long story short, over that time, it took quite a long time for us to get started and build a relationship that's based on mutual hate and friendship at the same time.
Lots of hate. So many hate.
But in the meantime, over the last 10 years, Krishelle has taken her love of the gym and made it into, she powerlifted for a while. She's got some nice little totals happen over a couple of competitions. It's a massive. She found a way to use anxiety as a performance kicker for powerlifting, which I thought was very cool. Back to then, last couple of years, some massive health challenges, and now back in the gym doing powerlifting, but not competitively, but having a whale of fun doing it. And now has developed something around, women loving their body, which I am really big on, and it really follows the mission that Vector Health has around, transforming self-belief and physical capacity with unrivaled care. So I think what you guys have done is really cool, and I just
thank you.
Leave it to you to maybe tell us about what Love Your Body is.
So we started Love Your Body. We were given the option of doing it within university, and we took on the option because all 5 of us have had an experience where we haven't felt like we've loved ourselves, and we haven't felt welcome in the communities that we've always been a part of. We've also been told a lot by professionals that we've dealt with and psychologists that social media should be a platform where we can encourage each other. But unfortunately, we need to be a part of doing that to make it a thing, because right now it's not. It's very, very, very toxic. So the idea was created to kind of go in, throw in as much body positivity as we can, so that we can encourage other women that, you can love yourself, you can exercise and eat healthy and do all of the things and not feel bad about your body and how you look. Like, nobody's going to look, not every single person in the world is going to look like the skinny model you see on TV. We need to make it realistic. I never thought that I'd be a gym goer in my lifetime ever. Like, that's not a thing I ever thought I'd do. And I think I probably even laughed at you, Glenn, when I first walked into your gym and was like, you want me to come to this gym? Like, that's something I never thought possible. And I hope that by creating something, we can show women who also think that that is a place for you. There is a home for you, and you're allowed to go there and love yourself and do it for yourself, rather than doing it for some sort of look or fitness. Like, you don't have to do it to look beautiful. You don't have to have the best ass in the world or the biggest, the best body in the world. Do it because you love it, and do it because it's good for you. Like, it's good for your mental health as well. Like, it's so good.
100%.
So good.
I agree with that. I agree with you. Got to value. That's why I like the sport of powerlifting in some ways, because and that's why I encourage you to do it, because it's all about what you can do. It's not about what you look like. There's a weight class for everyone, and it's all about what you can put out on a platform on a given day. And I like this self-title accountability that it gives you. And I'm not, making this a massive ad for powerlifting, but it was something that we got you to do to give you a sense of purpose to go to the gym.
It was a massive step for me as well, because I went from, I'm going to the gym, I guess going to the gym to lose weight and to, how many calories can I burn? Oh my God, this is so stressful, to, oh my God, I get to go and feel strong, and I get to feel like I'm worth something to myself, which is really awesome, because like growing up, I probably didn't get that from anything else. So like, there's so many girls out there that have done netball, or they've done sports and they felt like they've been part of a group, and I never got that. So it was so cool to kind of come in and like, that's my thing, that's what I get to do.
Yep.
And I get to walk around knowing that I'm strong. I'm really strong. Like even now, like coming back from everything I've been through, I'm still strong.
Yeah,
and the stronger 100%. I get, the
100%.
more I get to walk around and be like, I'm a strong girl.
And arguably stronger in terms of your ability to turn up when you're not feeling great. And they're
100%.
You know what I say about the most, valuable variable in training is consistency. So if we can inspire more people to be more consistent because they want to go and exercise, or they want to do something for their self-worth where they feel that it's about what they do, not about what they look like, then 100%. I'm 100% for that. So that's why I think what you're creating is really cool.
Thank you. We're really having a good time with it, and being able to kind of do our own research and find the right people so that we're promoting the right kind of lifestyle, that we don't want to be promoting, oh my God, do this diet, these people follow these people, they do this diet. We want to be promoting people that are research-based and that know what they're talking about. Like they don't, we promoting people such as Marika Day, who's from Rocky, who she has amazing work and amazing research, and everything she does is research-based, and she doesn't share just crappy things. Everything has to be, proven and factual, which is something that Instagram in general needs more of, I think. So the fact that we get to help do that is really awesome.
I would say I was lucky enough to have a bit of say in, Marika, doing gym. And it's very interesting that she's had quite a good journey in terms of getting herself into a really good state in a fitness way and her messaging is so good. I mean, if anyone's out there and want to follow a dietitian that's actually a dietitian that lives a lifestyle of health, then Marika Day is definitely worth following.
She's incredible.
I would give her a massive thumbs up. And I've known her for quite a long time and seen her sort of progress in her career, and she's a very, very powerful person on social media in terms of the types of things she promotes and the way that she promotes it. It's really cool.
And that's kind of what we want to do, is just open people's eyes to the fact that there are people out there you can follow that are going to give you worlds of information and not make you feel like crap about it. So for example, Marika shares all the time that she loves eating chocolate, and that's totally cool. And so many people out there are like, I think that it's such a bad thing, or that it's a negative thing, and it's not. Like, we need to take that, like the mental health side of things and the psychology side of things away from food and fitness, and kind of just make it more about you're doing it for you. You're not doing it because it's a bad thing or it's a good thing. Like it's do it for you. Like that's the biggest thing. I think,
if we just stick to the adage that everything is bad if you do too much of it. You can look at so many things. I mean, if you run and you do too much of it, for some people that won't make them injured, but for some other people it will make them very injured. So it's all about a personal tolerance for everything. Some people 100%. Can eat more than others and they put on more weight or whatever. So if you've got a goal and you know what you want, then you've got to be able to get to that point where your self-worth and your self-belief is so that you can discipline yourself if that's what you want. However, if it isn't necessarily that important to you, then it's more about what can I do? What can I achieve next? Or, what makes me really happy and how do I achieve that? Or how do I get 100%. There?
100%. And I think for me, like powerlifting is exactly that. And just lifting in general now, like last week I had a couple of days where I did not want to do anything but probably crawl into bed. But I know that if I show up and I do the work, then I feel better. Like it's one of those things that's like, you have to know yourself, and you have to know that, I might not feel like it right now, but future me and healthy me is going to be so grateful that you did that. In terms of mental health as well, I guess, like my mental health got so much better because I went to the gym and I just, I put the work in to make myself feel better. Like,
definitely.
Sure.
You can see. Well, so how did you come up with the name with Love Your Body?
Well, was
that just a moment?
Up a few different names. It was kind of just a moment. It was a discussion originally we were working with another organization, and so it came from it was a bigger name to begin with, and we've kind of just shortened it to something really basic, really simple to get the message across, because we didn't want to complicate things.
Yep.
Basically.
Awesome.
And I mean, everyone has a body. Everybody should love their body. So.
And it's very interesting that you say around what social media is and what social media does and what the intent of it maybe was. Maybe what do you think that, say, you know, Mr. Zuckerberg, who designed Facebook, and if we remember the, you know, the movie where he's talking about how cool it would be to connect people, do you think that social media has gone to a place that where it is not useful, or it's not in a, you know, so what are your thoughts on
I think that
how
for
that
me,
works now?
Speaking from my previous experience, I've been because obviously it's the algorithm gets us every time. It suggests things to us that we should follow. So if you are not in a healthy mindset, or if you're counting calories and you're not doing it in a healthy aspect or anything like that, Instagram probably used to just kind of suggest all the things that are probably going to aid you in that negative toxic behavior. What we're seeing now, though, is that Instagram actually have a heap of filters that they have in place to stop that from happening. So we are seeing it become a more positive environment, which I think is good. But for it to be a positive environment, we need to create it, and we need to push that narrative more. And so hopefully what we're doing is creating another space and community for people to gather that involves that, like that, the healthy side of things, because I've been in the negative places on Instagram and it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. And I used to follow pages that would tell me how many calories were in everything. And I like, if you want to eat 400 calories a day, like this is exactly what you could eat. And like, it wasn't healthy. I didn't tell anybody I was doing it, but Instagram aided me in doing it for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas now, if we can push that narrative and kind of have that healthy discussion that's like, hey, not everything you see on Instagram is real, but here's some realness for you, then that's kind of what we're looking at, I guess. Yeah, for sure. Like, and
it's interesting you say that, because then how does a program or an ideal like yours match with the sensationalist media that is so common and so popular in this time right now? You know, if you want to get attention, you have to be a sensationalist. How does your program match with that sensationalism?
I think what we're going for is, right now it is very much a topic of discussion. So that's helping us along a bit, in the sense that we're seeing so much talk about, especially at the moment, about women's bodies, just in general, that if we can, you know, create a safe space and a healthy space, and hopefully with the right kind of audience pushing us and supporting us, we will be able to push that further, purely based on the fact that everyone's talking about women's bodies at the moment. It might not be in a negative light, but if we can create somewhere where it isn't that, then hopefully people are going to gravitate towards that positive light.
It would be good to see a trend away from the sensationalism into something that's more practical and more supportive. So it'd be interesting to see if you can get the engagement that you need. So looking at engagement, what's your following or followers target over the next month to try and establish that community? Because there is some formula in that, isn't there, with social media?
There is a little bit of formula with social media. We have in our team, we have a couple of girls who are social media, they call themselves experts, I suppose. We've kind of given them the task in how we're going to do this, and they've taken that on board really, really well. I think for us, we're relying on the fact that we also have quite big communities that we're a part of. So obviously for me, like being a part of the Vector community is like a whole branch that, I'm going to be honest, I didn't really think about until just recently. For me, like obviously I've had weight loss surgery, so the weight loss surgery community on Instagram is quite large. The fact that we get to use, I guess, our connection skills is a massive part of that. And then obviously as much hashtagging and as much like let's get ourselves on the pages that we need to get onto.
Yep.
And get ourselves into the right group of people and audience. And it's all about sharing nowadays. A lot of it is about sharing.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. So then if I'm a prospective audience, what am I going to expect from following your page?
Our page. So over the next 2 weeks for now is our goal is to hit 2 weeks. We're pushing as much as we can healthy lifestyle, healthy kind of mindset. So there'll be tips, we have Hot Tip Tuesday coming up tomorrow, which is awesome. It'll be kind of just like little snippets of things that you can do in your day to improve, I guess, your mental health and your lifestyle in general.
Yep.
For example, I think my hot tip tomorrow is, I don't know if you've heard of the Superman pose, but standing like Superman for a certain amount of time is proven to actually reduce your cortisol levels and actually be really, really healthy for you, especially if you're going into something stressful. Makes sense. So like the idea is let's give you as much positivity as we can within the short space that we have to do this.
Yep.
And then hopefully we can continue it on. I'm hoping that the girls that I'm working with will want to continue it with me.
Yeah.
I've already said I'm taking the page if they don't want to. So
I think
it's going to continue on. I think it's going to be awesome. Ideally, we'd love to feature some people. We're going to feature, I have a lady who does yoga in bed.
Yep.
And it's just basic stretching techniques that you can do literally in bed. So if you're not feeling it, then that's like a great way to start your morning off and work your way into it. But yeah, so like you're following us to get a bit of like healthy lifestyle, body image kind of content at least once a day for you, which is awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah. We're excited. We've got some cool things coming.
That's great.
Our content mix is awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea. As I said, it's anything out there at the moment that is a genuine supportive mechanism as opposed to the sensationalist mechanism is a very, very good thing for young women and women alike to follow.
100%. Yeah, thank you. It's something that I'm been passionate about for a long time anyway, and I'd love to progress it into, you know, encouraging women to check their bodies and kind of doing more educational style posts where we can actually talk about, you know what, like real life issues that we go through. Because I mean, I've had endometrial cancer and I didn't know very much about my body at that point. Like learning all about my body has been a whole new world for me. So I'd love to continue it on and make it educational. Everything we post needs to have some sort of like message behind it that's healthy.
That's great.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, cool. Well, thank you very much for sharing your ideas. I think it's been really great. From my point of view, I'm really proud of what you've come up with because it's
thank you.
It is the result, I think, of a long journey that you've undertaken, and you know, you've got your friends that are working 100%. With you. But I think the whole lot of you should be really proud of what you're doing.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you.
All right. No worries. Thank you.
You're amazing.